Good morning. It's another beautiful day here in Fredericktown, Missouri. Um, I'm going to be talking today about things that might be important to take on your trip. I'm going to be gone a month, so I need to be taking things that I enjoy doing. I crochet. Everybody who's ever met me at a meetup, especially, knows that I crochet. And I crochet different things, but this one's a pot holder, as is my norm. I give them away. I bring them to meetups. Someone likes them, and I say, "You want one?" And if it's their color palette, especially, then they take one. And I love that. So, anyway, that's what I do. I think the biggest thing I do when I plan for a trip is write down what things I need to bring, such as I need to bring water. I need to bring enough water that will satisfy me for the most of the trip, at least till I get to a bigger town or to a friend's or family's house. And for me, that has been I can get all the way to Oregon easily with my 5, 7, 8 or 9 gallons of water. I don't uh, waste it, but I don't scrimp on it either. If I'm thirsty or if I need to wash up, I'll do that. And it works out really good. Uh, I don't have a shower, nor do I carry a water tank in my van. I want the space. My goal for my space is to have room for others to come in, and maybe if it's raining especially or too hot, but if we have a game we can play just to sit and chit chat, even to watch a movie together. So I need seating. And I need low enough seating that you could sit on like you would a sofa at home. So I have my seat will be a bench. My bed at the back, 2 sides will be a bench, and all the same height. And everything's in there. All the storage I have, other than my pink toolbox, is my storage. My toilet will be under the bench. My refrigerator, cooler, ice cold will be under the bench. There's just different things that are under the bench to make it look, there's a bug. Make it just bigger and more large, because I'd like to be able to seat more than 3 or 4 comfortably in there. Anyway, so I don't carry a lot of big things. My power station is big enough. I have solar on the top, so I always have power. Do I hook up to shore power if possible? Absolutely, I do, because then I can cook differently. I can use my electric better on my pink. It has a thing to plug in. I can use that without worrying that I'm going to deplete my power, because my most important thing is having fans at night. Because right now I'm traveling in August, and that's a very hot time to be going across the United States, because for the most part, every day is in the 90s. And I'll discuss that in a minute, because I have kind of been testing how I'm going to do the sleeping, because you can't sleep, or at least I can't. I can't sleep if it's in the 80s. I really am a little uncomfortable if it's in the high 70s, but it's doable. With the fans, it's definitely doable. So I bring enough water. I can bathe with it. I can, and that's just, washcloth baths, but that's more than adequate. The only time I really have to use more water is if I wash, not if, but when I wash my hair. So if I wash my hair, then I'm going to use a lot more water in my sink. The food, I don't, um, I'm diabetic, so I don't go out and eat very often, and I'm very careful. I don't want to have to take any medicine, so I do it by watching my carbs. Um, so food, I try to prepare on my own. So my cooler has a lot of frozen vegetables, frozen meats for me to cook up, which I usually use, especially if it's hot. I usually use my butane cooker, my out here on a table, because I don't want to heat up anything in the van. The So I will have my food prepared. So I have to bring all that. Am I going to Outer Mongolia? No. Anywhere I'm going, I am probably passing by a million stores on my way to Oregon. I mean, every time you take a cutoff, there's a store, usually a Walmart, and I go in there and I can replenish my food. Or if I'm getting vegetables, I prefer organic. Walmart, I guess, does have organic, but I would prefer a little bit smaller store. But I will get what I can get to not have to go and eat out. Um, Cooling blankets. I just found those, and I went to a meetup, and several ladies uh, pointed out during the gadget thing that they use a cooling blanket, and we're all baffled by this. So last night it was going to be cooler, but I thought I'm going to try it. And I did, and I got cold. It went down. I mean, the temperature was down at night. So it wasn't a hot night, but I got cold enough that I had to take it off and cover back up with just my sheet and bedspread that I have on my bed, and I could go to sleep again. So cooling blankets seem to work, and I don't understand. Fans, man, oh man, fans. I don't think you can have too many fans. I have two mounted Sirocco fans that Johnny put in my van. I have two portable, pretty powerful fans that I charge up so I can move them around. They aren't secured in any way. I can put them wherever I want them. And I brought them out to the picnic table yesterday because it was toasty and I wanted to be outside. So I uh, brought one out and used it. It was lovely, lovely. Um, so definitely fans. The more the better, because you are going to be maybe a little, after you bathe especially, you're going to maybe be damp, and it will cool you down if you have a fan hitting your skin anyway, and it'll just cool you down. Then you're able to go to bed. Because I wait to do my bath, spitz bath, at the very end. I want to get that done, put on my pajamas, and go to bed. And I will watch TV in bed, but at least I had the fan hitting me and I'm very comfortable. And it was 97 yesterday. It was warm. Clothing. You know, I know a lot of people bring a ton of clothing, and that works for them. It doesn't work for me because I don't have all that storage. Since I'm not going to have upper storage, there's a lot of places I don't have that many people do. Uh, so I have enough clothes that are in packing cubes that once I deplete those or it gets down, I'll look for a laundromat. I always bring some quarters, all you can get quarters. I bring quarters. I do my laundry because I have my laundry soap in the van, and then I can clean up, fill up my cubes again, and head on out. I don't like carrying a lot of clothes. I guess I'm somewhat of a minimalist, but with that mouse that I thought was in here, it was probably a good thing. I didn't have a whole lot to remove. Another thing I like to bring up is how best to sleep at night. I try to go to Love's. And so every day I know where that Love's is that I'm going to stay the night that day. If I'm only going for 5 hours or drive, or 4 hours, tonight will be only 4.5 hours, then I know I don't want to leave this place, this area, I shouldn't say the harvest host, but this area, until 3:30 maybe, because my goal is to drive with, of course, my air conditioning. When my air conditioning's on, then I am able to go straight there with my windows having been closed, and I want to get there to Love's after sundown, because I don't want any sun coming in my van or on my van. A caveat: I think that if you're going to do that, you kind of want to make sure you know where you're going or have been there before. For my driving, I know all the Loves that I'm going to go through. I've been there many times on the way back and forth to Oregon, which is why I kind of like to always take the same route. I know which Loves are comfortable. I know which Loves feel a lot more safe, although I've never had one I didn't really feel safe in. But some were small, and so parking was more limited. I don't want to pull into a very small one at night expecting to go to bed and there's no room because it's very small. And so what I do is I know where I'm going to stay, I scope it out, and I get there after sundown. I put my shades in my windows up. Mostly I put my shades up not for the sun, but because if I have anything on my front seats, which I do my passenger seat, I don't want people to see that. And there's nothing important in there. I mean, unless they want an older crock pot, because I'm giving my sister mine. But there's still, I just don't want that. So I block off my windows. I leave them ajar with some vents in my windows, because I have a fan, a Max Air fan in my ceiling that sucks out, or brings in, but sucks out hot air. And I need to have air for that. My two back windows slide open, and I leave those open so that there's plenty of airflow. And the nice thing is, those are right by my bed. So as the Max Air fan sucks up the air and brings in the cooler night air, I benefit from that breeze. Because I'm no longer sitting in the parking lot of a Love's gas station where there's no trees, there's no shade generally, I've never seen one, then I can have only dark. My van is already cooled down from the air conditioning all my drive. One night I didn't even have to open up my Max Air fan or my windows, because I was plenty cool enough, which was lovely, plenty cool enough to sleep very well that night. And because everything was closed up, it was so much quieter. So that's one thing I would recommend if it feels comfortable for you. If you have other ideas, please share them, because other than going to a national park or this like a harvest host, I'm in the shade here. My van will get sun, which is nice because I have solar on the top. My van will get sun, but it won't be during the night. Like right now, it's been in the shade all morning, and it will continue to be in the shade until about maybe 10 or 11. Then it'll start getting sun. But then I'll be leaving and going to lunch and doing some errands and things like that, because I won't be necessarily coming back here, although I will be if I have to, because I'm not going to leave this area until about 4. Anyway, I hope this video is enjoyable. Seems kind of boring to me, but I like sharing anything I can and how I travel. I'm going through questions that I get when I talk to people at meetups. How do you, and that's what people do at meetups. They share their information, which is fantastic. And if you haven't gone to any, try. Even if it's just gathering together a few women that you know like to camp, because you will share there. But a meetup is meeting women that you have never met before, and their ideas you probably haven't heard before, and that's wonderful. I mean, I love the meetups. Anyway, I hope you have a good day. If you have any questions or any comments, because this is only my video number 2, I'm sure I can improve. Let me know. Thanks. Have a good day.